Very quick disclaimer, this is obviously not the best deck in existence, but it is something that is going to help you out in whatever rating you are at. This got me to 2700 rating, and it's a pretty fun and versatile deck to run, regardless of the current meta. This is also a 90-95% free-to-play deck. I got all of these out of timed boosters and from saving gems to buy quads and sextuples from whenever the offer came up. And I only got a couple of gems to buy my Metagross to counter Untitled and Deoxys. And well, other than that, all of these are free to play. So let's go ahead and analyze all of these figures and basically tell you how to earn free wins for whatever match you can run. Now, this is going to be my first unscripted Pokemon Duel video. Forgive me if there are any mess-ups or if I, struggle to talk, whatever. But right now, first, I will show you that my current records, this got me to 2760 something. It was a pretty fun deck. I also got a 19 winning streak, which was really fun. And if this can load, there we go, 2731 just by running this deck. It's really fun, and I'll explain you why I run each one of these figures and the plates. Also, the 19 winning streak was pretty overpowered. So let's get into my main deck. I have 6 right here. I can maybe go over them, a little bit later. But first, let's go over the figures. If you are familiar with the game, and by the way, maybe I'm going to make a beginner's guide later on. I see that this series is starting to, get a couple of views, a couple of interested people. So that's pretty fun. If there are enough, I'm going to make like a, beginner's guide. So let's get into the figures right now. As you can see, again, if you're familiar, I run Reshiram and Zekrom. The reason for this is because of their ability to basically remove figures from the duel. If you land on Fusion Flare and you have both Reshiram and Zekrom on the field, they can basically, wipe them out. And even if you run both of these figures individually, it's it's pretty overpowered. 170 with a 3-star purple, it's pretty fun and they can win you a lot of games. So not a lot of detail when it comes to them. Zekrom is pretty useful when it gets either burned or paralyzed, because its dodge is going to become a miss, and it's not going to be that tragic, if I can say it like that. If you have the Reshiram, since it's a little bit stronger, both of its purple fucking things, and sorry, I'm starting to get a little stuttery, but whatever. Both of its purple attacks are going to become a miss, which is a little bit more risky. The Greninja is something that can fit into whatever deck, especially because of its yellow attack. It can spin as many times as it can land on it, and it can KO many powerful figures, but its effect is also pretty nice. Even if it gets knocked out by whatever figure, if there's an opponent behind it, it will roll, and if there's a purple attack, it will also get knocked out. This has won me a lot of games where I knock 2 figures in a row, that are like adjacent to each other, and it's it's overall something that you can never go wrong by adding to your deck. So that's one thing, I guess. And by I guess a general rule of thumb, you want to have at least one runner. If you have the first to turn, and if you only have two empty figures, that can be pretty sad for you, since you can only put them in your your entry point. So this is the runner that I have, and next up we have obviously the Metagross. Regardless of the meta, if there are more Untitled and Deoxys, this is something that you want to run. It has 150, 90, 90, and then it has a 30 yellow or gold attack, whatever. If you have this on the field, enemies figures which ability has to respin or whatever, like obviously Untitled and Deoxys, that's going to be completely shut down, and it's overall a pretty useful deck or piece, figure, whatever. Next up we have Articuno. This is obviously what I personally believe is the best bird out of the 3, because Zapdos has its overpowered 100 yellow attack, Moltres has 110, but Articuno has the ability to freeze all of the figures that's I guess adjacent to whatever it's going to attack. You can freeze up to like I have personally seen up to 4 freezes, so that's pretty fun. And this is the one that I run. I would potentially swap this for a Zapdos if I ever get it, just to try it out, but again, the Articuno is just pretty overpowered. As you can see, I have 3 of them, and it's going to be really nice when the Flying Gym Cup comes once again. Late, and for the last spot or figure, I have a level 5 Sceptile. This is, you can not go wrong by adding this to whatever fucking deck you have. This is going to help you out in whatever situation, especially because of its blue attack. It's really fun, and it can win you a couple of games if the enemy is not aware of its abilities, or by its stealth hit. So that's basically it. This is the deck that I run. As you can see, I am at 1100 rating, and I will start a series, my Road to Master, or Back to Master, or whatever, in which I am going to record and post-commentate most of my decks that I most of my matches that I come across, and for me to explain you what goes inside my head whenever I'm doing my movements and whatever. So that should be pretty fun, and that should be kind of a nice opening series to like maybe more in-depth I guess series of videos that we can have. So that's it for the figures, and let's go into the to the plates. This is something that it's pretty self-explanatory. You have a hurdle jump and a gold block, something that you can potentially have in whatever deck that you want. And I have 2 overdrives for my Reshiram and my Zekrom in order to get either paralysis or burn out of the way, so they can eliminate other figures pretty easily. If Reshiram or Zekrom have any sort of status like burnt or paralysis, they're not going to be able to delete figures. So that's pretty much it. Kind of a short video to explain you the deck that I'll be running throughout this month, and throughout my I guess you can call it a career or whatever. That's pretty much it. If you have any better decks, or I'm not going to go over what I would like to swap this for, because this is this is mostly my core team that I'm going to use for basically all my battles. So if you have any other suggestions, make sure to leave them in the comments. And if you can get your hands in whatever of these figures, even if they are a standalone figure, if you have whatever deck but you have a Greninja, it's really good to put it in there. None of these figures need synergy to wreck complete house. You can argue that's the Reshiram and the Zekrom, but even if you put them individually on your deck, they're still going to be a massive powerhouse, especially with the overdrive plate. If you have them, there's no reason not to have it. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Soon I'm going to have another series of videos where I climb all the way back to Master League, and hopefully to 2700 rating. So thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time, and make sure to check out my other Pokemon Duel videos. So you guys have a great day, and I hope to see you soon.